This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hello, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and Big Dad Stairmaster.
Hey there, little fella. Wanna wrestle?
Why does it sound like Johnny Bravo?
Alright, let's hear your impression.
That's how all big men sound.
Hey, I'm the Big Show. What's going on?
Why does he sound like Jonathan
He
Banks?
sounds like young Jonathan Banks.
Hey, I'm the Big Show. How's it going? How's that?
Why does he sound like
Stay
a
out
famous...
of my money match, Walter.
Why does he sound like a famous Minecraft Let's Player?
Who?
You would say that's more... He would say that at this point he is more famous than the Big Show?
Yes.
That voice you're hearing, of course, is our other co-host and precocious little child, Kioran.
Hello. I'm going to say things that are clearly written down on a script.
Wow, you're such a little shyster.
Wow. Isn't this just how children are?
Yeah.
I just released 3 canisters of the bubonic plague.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, God, that synapses just made a connection. You're literally just Stewie Griffin from Family Guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, don't get started on Lois. Anyway, welcome to TV Tuners. This is a podcast where we talk about the latest and greatest in television. And if you like what you're hearing so far, why not consider subscribing? We're available on all of the podcatchers of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and more. You can go on, click subscribe, and we'll be there, waiting for you every week with a new batch of goodness.
And if you give us 5 stars, we'll send feet pics.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that's spelled F-E-A-T, and it's us showing off our most impressive moves.
Yes.
It's true. We do have a lot of them. You might not think we do because we're podcasters, but we do.
Like Kyo can
You gotta
shoot
see-
fireballs while jumping.
Yeah, and you got to see Swanson's javelin toss. It's really it's good.
Yeah, I went to the amateur double A championship.
And I've got footage from my Olympic marksmanships competitions.
Ooh.
You got to check that out.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, sir, but all those take place on a grassy knoll?
Allegedly. There may be
Okay.
there may be some grass. There might be a slight elevation, and there may be some weird cars driving by.
Okay.
And if you subscribe, you can find out which one of us can defeat Frieza.
Yeah, but that's only available for subscribers.
Hint,
so.
it's not me.
Yeah, and hint, it's not me, so...
I wonder who that leaves.
Anyway, you can also find us on Twitter. We're on Twitter at TV Tuners.
No way.
Yeah, check it out. I'll wait.
Okay, let me log in here.
I don't feel like you should be second-guessing Swanson on this, Chief.
Well, I got to make sure we're credible here. So I'm checking this.
I think this is going to backfire badly for you.
Oh my god, look at this timeline.
It's filled.
It's filled with TV content, right?
This is crazy. All this Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware.
Outside of context.
OOC? Oh, outside of okay. Yeah, was this aired on television?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, this is definitely a Twitter account, is what I'm going to say.
I'm going to say that I'm sure at least one person has played it on their television, so that counts.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a port to the Sega Dreamcast of Half-Life that never got released.
Hmm.
And you can also use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance.
No way.
Yeah. And if you have any other quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
Hmm?
What's that email, Gilrain?
It was like, at TV Tuners on Twitter.
That's right. And, yeah, with that all out of the way, I think it's time for our Tweet of the Week segment.
All right, well, it looks like I'm going to have to be presenting the Tweet of the Week this week.
Oh, God.
And
Okay.
I'm sure Swanson and Stairmaster know what's coming.
I hope
I
not.
can guess.
All right, so we've got a tweet from a Shadow Fan 0x90,
Uh-huh.
and he
Oh,
says, ate 3 carrots, 3 celery, 3 onion,
Uh-huh.
3 radish, and 3 zucchini.
Ah, that's a weird meal.
Now, do you think he means zucchini?
I'm assuming, but it's spelled with 1 C and no H.
I also appreciate that the only plural word there is carrots.
Yeah, I mean, after you said the one thing in plural, I don't think you really need the rest to be plural. I mean, you say 3, so that pretty much communicates already that there's
Yeah,
been...
you're right. He's just saving time and energy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I do have to commend him for his efficiency, but I don't think that's enough calories for a meal, so I'm going to have to tune out on this tweet. What do you say, Swanson?
Yeah. Is this supposed to be what he ate all day?
No. You can see on his timeline that he communicates several things he's eaten throughout the day. After that, he says he ate pure PB&J.
Oh, no.
You know, I don't normally tune out on a tweet based off of the other tweets, but I'm going to tune out on this one.
Oh, no, I just saw the next one. Drank 50% water, 50% Pepsi, and 50% apple cider in a cup.
Yeah, this is a tune out.
Yeah, no. I didn't say that right at all.
I think that Shadow Fan is trying to have a healthy lifestyle, and he's sharing his diet with people on Twitter. I think that's commendable.
Would you say 50% apple cider, 50% Pepsi, and then 50% water is a health thing?
Well, I think that he's doing some kind of, quantum math.
I don't think the apple cider and the Pepsi synergize well, dietarily speaking. Like, they're both very sugar-rich.
Well, he has the water to balance it all out.
Might I suggest just having apple cider?
Well, what is apple cider?
It's like apple juice, but grosser.
But
with a kick.
Okay, well, looks like I'm going to be the only tune-in on this tweet, so I guess that's an official... I think that's our first one, right?
Yeah, tune-out.
That's a first official tune-out. Sorry, Shadow Fan. Better luck next time.
I'm sure he'll have something to say about that later.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Anyway, yeah, so with that out of the way, it's time for us to get into what you guys watched this week.
Uh-oh.
Should we start with it?
Nothing interesting.
So we should start with it then. It's time for the Soulcast. The last one for the foreseeable future.
Are we going to drop a spoiler warning here, or...
I mean, we can just drop a mild spoiler.
Yes.
Because we did have that betting pool.
Yeah, and we'll say that none of us were right.
We'll say that I was correct.
You were correct? In what way?
I said
spoiler.
I said exactly what was going to happen, and then that happened.
Yeah, I guess he's right.
I do appreciate the Hotline Miami antics going on, but I don't appreciate everything else about that sequence at the end of the episode.
You didn't like the sort of sound editing of him slowly becoming a void of a man?
Wait, what? I was talking about Lalo, not...
Yeah, the sound editing made everything like white noise except for the crunching of dirt beneath his feet.
Oh, that was kind of neat, but... No, I'm not as hot on this one as last week's.
I don't know. It was a pretty good episode, I thought.
It wasn't as good as last season's finale.
What was the problem with this?
It wasn't a cool sequence,
What about the entire thing with Lalo?
That was dumb.
He does some John Wick shit.
No, he doesn't. He kills like half the guys off screen, anyways.
In what way does he kill them off screen, though? Because we don't see their bodies get lit up?
Yeah, no, it's like... Oh, look, I just don't think it's... they didn't really sell.
You wanted to see their bodies get torn to shred by a storm of bullets?
That would have also been nice, but I wasn't sold on the verisimilitude of him killing all those 5 guys on his own. It didn't feel authentic.
I don't know.
Like, compared to Hank versus the Cousins from Breaking Bad, that's a more grounded and better and more, believable sequence.
I don't know. I think it pretty firmly establishes Lalo as, like, a threat and one that's, like, calculating in the way that he was able to lure these guys.
I think those guys were just bad at their jobs.
They were definitely bad at their jobs, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the impression you get when you see them going into a tunnel and then just crawling around in there without knowing where it leads or where he is.
Or what's in it.
And just going around his house and shooting random people as well. Yeah. They clearly were just not good.
I mean, I was under the impression that Gus told them to kill everyone in the house. Because I was assuming that's why Nacho had to leave.
Yes. Oh, I assume he just didn't want to be there.
I mean, the phone call was pretty deliberate.
Yeah, oh well. So that's a tune in on Better Call Saul.
Yeah, good season. Good show.
Yeah, so where's my money?
It'll be delivered to you, but you have to travel to the border, and it'll be waiting for you there.
Yes. My associate.
No shenanigans.
Well, no. When you say, okay, can you define shenanigans for me, please?
Minimal murder.
Yeah, there's nothing that we have planned for you.
Minimal. Does that mean like less than one person dies?
Yes, ideally.
Yeah, half a person dies.
You might die if you get lost.
You might metaphorically die. And like
that wouldn't be murder, though. You said murder.
I mean...
Well, yeah, you might metaphorically have to murder your, like, past self.
I mean, if you got lost in the desert and starved to death, we would be responsible for your death. So that would be murder.
That's not murder.
It's true. I don't think the police would investigate why someone died in the desert by themselves.
And also, murder implies that you wanted me to die in the desert. So do you want me to die in the desert?
No, I would never want that. You're my buddy.
That said, you should definitely go get this money.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go down there. I guess we can put the podcast on hold.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you should wait.
Maybe we should record an episode in the desert.
Well, that would be sweaty.
Yeah, it feels like it would be bad for, like,
audio.
Recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what if a gang of roving toughs show up and decide they want to challenge us?
Oh, we can have them on as guests.
Oh, yeah, good thinking.
All 7 of them.
That's a lot of setup.
We could put sunblock on them too.
Yeah, like we're gonna put it on their backs and stuff.
Yeah, all over.
I mean, out in the desert, you're liable to get a
very nice
sunburn.
You gotta take care of your skin.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. Outside of that, I'm going to give a shout out to the 2nd season of What We Do in the Shadows, a former episode of this show.
Former episode of the show.
I mean, we did the 1st season, and then neither of you watched the rest of it.
Anyway, I remember that show. It was about like a little man.
Yes.
And he wants to be a vampire.
Oh, he was a Hispanic man, not little.
Oh yeah, a little man who looked like a former guest of the show.
Yeah. Do you want to say that out in public?
No, I'll probably edit that out.
Just bleep it out.
I don't think he listens.
Oh, bleep it out. It's funnier to bleep it out than to edit it out.
So that we can get interrogated later on who that was.
Yeah, we'll get our kneecaps impaled. Jack Bauer will just take the car battery to our nipples. Not even electrocuting us. He'll just be hitting us with the car battery.
Oh, no. That'll hurt.
Yes.
But yeah, the show is even funnier than it was in the 2nd season, I think. At least judging by the 2-episode premiere. Some good hijinks.
Wow, 2.
Maybe I should check that out. Maybe I'll tune in.
Oh.
Ooh.
Maybe Maybe I'll watch the movie.
The movie's also very good.
That's a tune in on What We Do in the Shadows 2014 from Swanson.
That's right. And
2014?
That's when the movie was made, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Keo got very scared.
Keo,
I'm like, how
Keo
long
thought
have
he
we been
traveled
talking?
backwards in time.
Okay.
Yeah, Keo did a very boring quantum leap situation where he actually just traveled back into his own body.
I wish I could travel back. And
Yeah, what would you do differently?
Undo this podcast. I mean...
Huh?
I'd invest in Apple.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that just makes sense.
Oh.
Anyway, that's it for that, so let's get to the news, huh?
Yes.
Alright. Guys, as we all know, America is in a pretty rough spot right now.
Yeah, we're about to balkanize. Maybe.
Yeah. And I think I found the thing that's really gonna push it over the edge.
Ooh.
Oh?
Our supply of new soap opera episodes is starting to run drastically short.
Oh no! What are they going to play at the doctor's lobby in the afternoons?
Well, I guess no one's sitting in the lobby anymore, so...
Oh! Yeah, I guess they're not needed.
Yeah. By Thursday of this week, both of the currently running soap operas, The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful,
Hey, I'm one of those.
run out of episodes that they were able to tape.
Hey, I'm one of those.
What did you say?
Hey, I'm one of those.
I'm gonna go with Young and Restless.
Yeah!
Oh, nice.
I can't sleep at night.
I'm bold and beautiful
That is
myself.
true.
Yeah, I can't say that's wrong, you know. I was former soap opera Dark Shadows.
Yeah. I'm glad you got past that.
Swanson is bold and restless.
And now now I'm General Hospital. Anyway, by Thursday of this week, which has already happened as of recording, the shows will have run out of episodes that they were able to tape before sending everyone home.
Oh.
So are we going to end up in like a Mad Max type situation where people are scrambling for tanks full of soap opera?
I think the old people are just going to be bored out of their minds.
Yeah, they're going to have to resort to watching like MeTV.
They're not going to get in trucks and hunt people down,
hopefully
grabbing
they've
their...
taken away their licenses.
We don't do that, so...
Oh.
Yeah, they have to get in a really bad crash to do that, I think.
Yeah, they have to kill people in a crash before we're like, maybe we shouldn't.
Or not be able to read one letter on the board.
From what I've seen of all 4 Mad Max films, that's a very high likely occurrence if they do that.
Ooh, yeah. With productions presumably suspended until whenever, it seems like the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful have some stuff to figure out on how they're going to fill up this time. Currently, the plan is for theme weeks with classic episodes, documentary specials, and new commentaries and introductions from the cast.
Yeah,
that's not going to fly.
My local news has been doing a documentary thing on Michael Jordan for its sports section. It's very sad.
Do you think that had anything to do with the Michael Jordan documentary that's playing on ESPN?
Maybe. But it might also be because there's no sports on.
Well, yeah, possible.
No, they're doing sports, but they're underground in the black market. Yeah.
They're on a very deserted island, or a very distant island in the Pacific.
Well, yeah, they're as we all know, UFC creator Dana White is currently using Jeffrey Epstein's former sex island for fighting.
Yeah, that's what the temple's for. An arena. Oh, you know that soap operas aren't the only thing in trouble here.
Yeah?
Multiple animes have announced delays as well.
No.
Including the recent edition of Toei's Magical Girl series, Pretty Precure, where
Jesus
Hunto,
Christ,
whatever the fuck it's called, where they fight diseases, and they're all nurse themed.
How is Japan handling this?
Not good. Yeah, you mean Corona or the anime?
The anime.
Well, the latest Evangelion film got delayed too, so I assume everyone is killing themselves.
Oh.
Additionally, One Piece and Boruto, the son of Naruto, are also delayed.
Oh.
No, this is not going to fly.
Yeah, we need to send military forces to Japan to get them back to work.
I can't believe the coronavirus has defeated the magical girls who fight viruses.
After only one episode of airing broadcast.
Dang. R.I.P.D.
Yeah, for people not in the know, most anime episodes don't get finished until like the day before they're supposed to broadcast.
Yeah, that seems pretty rough. As for the other soap operas on the air, General Hospital is currently padding out new episodes with footage from old episodes in order to stretch out the new stuff.
Oh no!
While ABC has banked enough episodes of Days of Our Lives to last into the summer.
Oh god. Oh god, just in time for the food riots to start when everyone's unemployment benefits run out.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see how the American landscape changes once soap operas have finally run out.
It's not going to be good.
But while we may be out of soap operas, what we're not out of yet is streaming services.
Oh, finally, more streams.
I thought we were done with them all.
No, there's still one that's been looming above the horizon. Warner Media's bafflingly titled HBO Max has finally announced its launch date.
About time, my man.
That's right, the Warner Media streaming service named for HBO, a thing Warner doesn't own, is set to launch on May 27th.
So, before people's unemployment benefits run out. Good.
Yeah, just before the riots.
We definitely are going to have riots. Is that your TV Tuners prediction still?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Certified Stairmaster.
They might be rioting over the price tag with this because it seems odd to be publishing, this big streaming service with all these big titles. It's premium content, so of course it comes with the premium price tag of $14.95 a month.
Oh.
Yeah, premium content, premium prices.
That's right. And of course, coming with HBO's extensive library of original content, it also has Friends and Big Bang Theory.
So now Americans are going to have to decide between their rent payments and watching Friends.
Or the Big Bang Theory.
No.
Oh, I thought of a really good slogan for their streaming service.
Yes?
Yeah.
No deals, you pay.
Ooh.
I feel like that's just America in general, Keo.
Yeah, that's true.
We're what you call a rentier state.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We also get all of the Studio Ghibli films.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Content from...
Including Castle of Cagliostro?
That's right. And including stuff from Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, DC, and New Line Cinema.
Wow.
So,
I can't wait to not purchase this.
Yeah, there's some premium content going on here, guys. Now, if you want HBO Max, once again, not to be confused with HBO Now or HBO Go, don't worry. If you already have an HBO Now subscription, you get access to HBO Max at no cost.
Yeah, what's HBO Now?
HBO Now is like the streaming service, I think.
But then what's
For
HBO?
HBO?
What's HBO Go?
That's the on-demand thing.
Well, what's on?
Were you going to ask what on-demand was?
Yeah, I know what on-demand is.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Also, in news, only the Stairmaster.
Vroom, vroom.
It was like a drag race.
Time.
It looks
like a drag race going on because of the empty roads, I guess.
Mad Max has already started.
Like somebody's chasing down a truck that's full of soap opera DVDs.
The actors, yeah. It's like
in news that only Stairmaster will enjoy from this HBO Max press release.
Yes.
Directly across from where the presenter was located was Steven Seagal's Hard to Kill. If that doesn't make you want to shell out $15 a month, I don't know what will.
I can see in this photograph, she's standing right in front of Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Arnold is kind of looming there.
Yeah, and Flint is in the bottom right.
Yeah, and right above Hard to Kill, The Shining. two seminal works.
And right in between. Hard to Kill is right between Superman versus the Elite and Space Jam.
Yeah, I see
Where
no
it
pattern
belongs.
here. I see no pattern here in this layout of movie
Oh, I can
posters
see
or whatever
Fresh
this
Prince
is.
of Bel-Air on this service.
I can also see snakes on a plane.
Oh, Jason X!
Yeah, this is, you know what? I'm willing to shout money now. I thought about it.
You got us, once again.
Sure, I'm
Mega
not currently
corporation.
working, and I'm making a pittance in unemployment, but you know what? I'm willing to roll the dice. Speaking of rolling the dice, HBO has recently announced that it's heading back to Westworld.
But
No.
Renewing.
Has the third season even aired yet?
The third season is currently airing, with the finale set for this coming Sunday.
Oh, we probably should have watched that for our pod.
Watched a show that we haven't watched the second season of.
Oh, you're right.
And also one that I do not want to watch.
Yeah, we all watched the first
Yes.
season of Westworld.
On the show.
Well, I watched part of the first season of Westworld, and I got really bored.
Listen, on this podcast, we only watch TV shows we want to watch.
Well, I mean,
Like
it doesn't
the-
seem like it's...
Like The Big Show show. Starring The Big Show.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
was... Listen, that was something that we needed to watch. And we'll explain why later.
We will?
Yes.
Of course.
I want to hear
I think you could just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. This was a necessary show for our times.
I mean, Swanson, here's a tip for you. When you tell a lie to people,
Uh-huh.
don't say that you're going to explain the lie later, because there's just not going to be an explanation for it.
All right. So, yeah, Westworld, the season finale is coming up lately. Get ready. More of it's coming.
Will Jesse Pinkman be in it?
Don't know. It doesn't say. This is all I got in this press release here for us. From the Western theme park to the technocratic metropolis of the near future, we've thoroughly enjoyed every twist and turn from the minds of master storytellers Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. We can't wait to see where their inspired vision takes us next.
Hell.
So I guess
There's
they
prob-
did eventually get
probably
out of
gonna-
the theme park. That's nice, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Probably going to be
New York.
robots included.
Or whatever.
What was that, Keo?
Probably going to be robots included in the show, right?
Ooh, yeah, maybe. What if the last season is just no robots?
What would it be about?
I don't know, humans.
I mean, isn't that
It's-
what all fiction's about?
No.
It's going to be about a farmer struggling with a drought.
Oh yeah, and because he doesn't have any robots to like mine the water for him.
To milk.
Yeah. Now, if you think it's been a long time since we watched Westworld, it has. It's been 4 years since the debut of Westworld.
Oh my
Wow.
god, has it been that long?
Yeah. So there's no telling when the fourth season will debut. Although Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, the creators of the show, have stated that they have plans for 5 seasons of the show altogether.
Okay.
And there's no telling where this current season, which sets place in a not too distant future in which Robo-protagonist Dolores is angling to liberate humanity from its own enslavement to technology or something.
Shit.
And I guess also other characters are there.
Yeah, typically. Other characters.
But it's hard to tell exactly when this new season will be coming or what bonkers thing will happen in between. But I'm sure we'll be there to think about it and not watch it.
My prediction, never.
It'll never air.
I don't think they'll get to filming.
I mean, I feel like Post-Apocalyptic Wasteland is sort of the perfect place to film Westworld.
Oh, you're right.
I think you might be overselling how dramatic the results of this pandemic are going to be.
Oh, no, I just think it's going to delay TV production. They're going to rethink it and decide the demand.
And cancel
isn't there.
profitable shows.
I think Westworld's still pretty
Oh,
popular, isn't it?
I guess I can't read the room at all. I'm just detached.
It's popular, but not as popular as it was.
I'm
to be
like
fair.
Dr. Manhattan, but for television, Keo.
It's true, and much like Dr. Manhattan, you will eventually be killed by white supremacists.
Yeah, I'll probably just be dumped in a mass grave come the time Westworld Season 4 comes out.
Oh, I can't wait to film that and put that on Netflix.
Don't you mean HBO Max?
No, that's
Is
too
that-
expensive.
Oh, you gotta do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. I think that's pretty much. I think that film, Keelran, is deserving of like Apple TV Plus.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, what film?
The film of you getting murdered and Kyo Rain filming it.
Not Stutter, or whatever it's called. Shudder.
I'm not just going to film him getting murdered. I'm going to film the whole thing leading up to his murder.
Oh, well, yeah, because otherwise it would just be a very short movie.
Yeah, I'm going to film him, like, throwing the Molotov cocktail into the white supremacist's, like, base.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. That hasn't happened
You're
yet.
going to film the part where I beg for them not to kill Stairmaster, but they do it anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for fighting for us, Stairmaster.
I had to do it because Swanson wouldn't.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, he's busy.
Yeah. I was unable to fight because of the time stream. Anyway.
Sure, yeah, whenever it comes up for standing for people of color, Swanson always talks about the time stream.
I couldn't handle it because of the time stream.
Yeah, he had to vote Joe Biden because of the time stream in the primaries.
Listen, it's a very dangerous time right now, Stairmaster.
The temporal equality is disbalanced.
Stairmaster, you don't get it. When Swanson looks into the time stream, he sees something very grave.
Oh. I think we should make a television show about women.
Oh
no,
we certainly wouldn't watch that on this podcast.
No. Okay, fair enough. Oh, you want to explain that now or later?
Listen. When we get to choose between a show about a big man and a show about women, this podcast is going to pick the show about a big man every time.
Yeah.
Even if we know before we even watch it that the show about the big man is objectively bad. Yeah. That, like, there was a 0% chance it could be good.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh. Yeah, we've fallen apart before.
Anyway, speaking of females...
This is a little peek into the TV Tuners editorial process where we pick what we're going to watch each week.
Yeah, and it usually results in Stairmaster having full control, much like the... it's a flawed system, much like the U.S. government. There, I tied it back around.
Well, the thing is, Swanson always chooses to give the options when I'm online, and Kyo isn't. I don't know why he does that.
I should probably wait until later.
He does it in the morning while I'm still asleep.
Yeah. He is not...
Listen, time zones are a bitch.
Yeah, Swanson's confused by the time stream.
Now then.
Women.
Now then, speaking of ladies.
Women.
Disney Plus is currently focusing on a female-focused Star Wars show.
No way we're going to watch that on this podcast.
Listen, I can hear the folks talking about getting their Last Jedi takes ready.
Yeah, is that the pitch though? Is that the pitch for the show?
No, actually, the actual pitch is probably a little more interesting and also a little more batshit, depending on what we want to talk about here. And this is a quote from the Deadline article about this. It is understood to be a female-driven action thriller with martial arts elements. And set in an alternate timeline from the usual Star Wars universe.
Okay, alternate timeline. I like that, so I won't be confused anymore, right?
You'll be more confused.
Or yeah, you'll either be. It depends on where the story goes, I guess. You'll either be more or less confused. But this currently untitled project is being headlined by one of the producers from former show that me and Keo watched, Russian Doll.
Oh. Did you like that?
I liked it quite a bit. I don't think Keo ever finished it, although I would recommend it.
Wow!
I mean, I would continue watching it, but I leaned all the way back in my chair and I couldn't reach the
Keo's
computer
too comfy
mouse.
right now.
Yeah, Keo doesn't have autoplay featured on Netflix, so he just sort of leans back, and if his hand can reach the next episode button, he watches.
Yeah,
and if it can't, then he doesn't.
He's only got Netflix on his Xbox original from he purchased in 2003.
Listen, the process of homebrewing that machine was very arduous.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen whether or not the Star Wars project will follow the same sort of heady narrative of Russian Doll, but it'd be cool if it did.
Wait, so they didn't even say what it's an alternate timeline?
No, I mean it's pretty clearly in the very early stages, I think. But I mean, I don't know what an alternate timeline to the regular Star Wars universe means.
What if Obi-Wan fucked more?
I'd watch that. Speaking of Obi-Wan, this project, along with Season 3 of The Mandalorian, because they're into that now, is following along with other Star Wars-related Disney Plus projects like the Obi-Wan show and some sort of Diego Luna-led Rogue One series, which could be fun, I guess. And of course, this also combines with Russian Doll's second season, which is
also in
set
Star
to
Wars
show up
now.
at some point. You know what? I would watch that.
Yeah, Darth
If it
Maul
was
just
just
shows
revealed
up.
that, yeah, like Natasha Lyonne's just like, whoa, I'm in Star Wars now.
The door
think that would
opens
be a
and
little
Darth Maul's there
jarring.
with his double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, and now she's dying again still, but it's in Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
so.
she's dying because Darth Maul stabbed her.
Yeah, and she keeps having to figure out scenarios to get around Darth Maul stabbing her.
It seems like we can get at least 100 seasons out of that.
Yeah, I would pay for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, not even episodes, seasons.
I mean, listen, she can take a whole season to not die of Darth Maul, and that's like hard to not die to.
I've
And
tried.
that's one Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
only
now
like in the top 90
Yeah, so you could do like,
percentile.
you could do like Yoda's trying to kill her for some reason.
Didn't ask. Plus woman you are.
Or she fell into like a trash compactor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's gonna fight the little eyeball monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That
one
could be
way
2
she dies, is
seasons.
she doesn't see it. Yeah, this would be good stuff, you know? Anyway, it remains to be seen what it is, but it sounds mildly interesting, so I can't wait to see how the Star Wars creative staff messes it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to channel my angry white YouTuber and say that this sounds like feminist garbage to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And I'm going to fight for your right to say it, Kyo-Ren.
I think the protagonist is Mary Sue, to be honest with you guys.
Who's the protagonist?
I'm gonna summon my
Lady?
I'm gonna
Yeah, it's a woman.
summon my other white YouTuber and say the protagonist isn't hot enough, so the show's bad.
Yeah. Well, see, I think the reason that this show is bad when it airs is because they didn't show a training sequence for this female character, so I can't believe that she would be competent.
What if the first season is just nothing but training? It's like Netflix syndrome times 1,000.
Yeah, she doesn't even like pull out a lightsaber until the last episode.
She doesn't even say her own name until the last episode. And it's
Yeah,
not
she
even a
said-
superhero name, it's just a Star Wars name.
Yeah, she just says, "I'm Rey Skywalker."
Oh, fuck you. Don't make me remember that.
Kyo's laughing, but that was the end of the 9th episode.
That's the end of the
No!
entire Star Wars saga, Keo. That's what these last 40 years have been building up to.
Nobody ever told me this, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's I shit you not. That's the end. Someone got paid millions of dollars to write that.
Yeah, the greatest thing ever was sitting in theaters, watching that, and just
Wait,
turning
why-
to the
wha-
side and seeing Comrade Yui just be like completely not having any of it.
Why is she a Skywalker?
Because she's Palpatine's granddaughter, but she rejected that legacy,
Yeah.
and Leia taught her how to do Jedi stuff.
So it's like her
And then-
her real mom.
Oh, okay. You know, Star Wars
Yeah.
is good.
Well, you know, there's good stuff in it. All right. Anyway, with that out of the way, it's time for us to take a quick smoke break. Sit back. Wait, do we do that still? Do we smoke?
Only that sweet, sweet kush.
Oh. As you all know, of course, we are part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network.
Mhm.
There are tons of
What?
great shows part of that network. Like this one, Boar Brand. Boar Brand is home, of course, to Boar Meets World, as well as other premium content. Why not give it a listen?
I'm Kyle.
This is Steven.
Together we host a show called
Boar Meets World.
Tell them what we cover on Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
But that's not all, is it?
No.
No, we cover life experiences. Ours. Oh, son of a. Alright, just check out the show, please. We really need it. Okay? We need a win. Just check us out. We talk about the show Boy Meets World. Each episode of our show, we run parallel for an episode of Boy Meets World where we will examine the show,
That's way too much.
what happens, you know, our life, how it relates to it, experiences.
I can't believe you're still recording.
I am recording this. Check it out, guys. You'll get some hilarious stories from me and Steven from our childhood. You'll get a great... I lost it.
Wow. Those guys, they do the opposite. They don't bore me. They engage me.
Wow,
They're
I'm excited.
they're so entertaining. I know everything about them now.
Yeah, and if you want to know everything about them, or any of the other podcasts that might tickle your fancy, head on over to bigheadsmedia.com.
That's right.
With that out of the way, it's time for us to get to our a segment near and dear to our hearts. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Keo. That's right. And boy, oh boy, we got a big one today.
Yes. 180 seconds of Ryan Murphy and Dylan McDermott.
That's right. A dream team, if there ever was one. So, it's from the Twisted Mind that brought you such classics as Glee and American Crime Story.
And The Shield.
That's a different Murphy.
Oh, fuck.
No,
Yeah.
Ryan Murphy's... when The Shield was on, Ryan Murphy was doing Nip Tuck.
Oh, very similar show.
Nip tuck.
Yeah, it was about plastic surgeons in, like, L.A. or something.
Oh, I thought it was...
The only thing I remember from the show is that there was a season arc where there was a serial killer. And it was pretty bad shit.
Oh, that sounds great. We should watch Nip Tuck instead of the Big Show.
Also, we've had this conversation on the podcast. I think the last time we talked about a Ryan Murphy show. At least once before.
I feel like we've never spoken of Nip Tuck before.
And that was also what you said last time.
Don't
I'm having intense deja vu.
I
right
think
now.
it's because you've been hanging on the time stream all the time.
You were present, Kieran, and you were as silent then as you are now. It was. It's like I'm seeing all timelines at once.
Oh God, Swanson just
Swanson,
seeing the
you
Matrix code.
You need to pull your head out of the time stream, Swanson.
Ugh, man, it's pretty wild. Anyway, this show, another Ryan Murphy joint, is called Hollywood, and it's about the golden age of film. Dylan McDermott's
Black
here.
people.
Yeah, featuring people of color, gay folks, racism,
Women.
lots of ladies. So yeah, Hollywood is like it's all about the like old times in Hollywood back when like it's about it's like once upon a time.
Back when
Crazy
Hollywood
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Dylan McDermott's here. He has like a mustache now, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I couldn't tell him apart from all the other white men in the show. Which is kind of Dylan McDermott's appeal.
It is sort of his whole deal. Have we ever explained why we're fascinated with Dylan McDermott?
I believe that you are quite acquainted with his body of works.
Yeah, we've watched both of his his former CBS work, Hostages and
Stalker.
Stalker.
Not Serial.
And Hostages, I think both Hostages and Stalker are two of the most hilariously bad things I've ever seen.
Yeah, if you can manage to find either of those shows somewhere, maybe on CBS All Access, I don't know. Ooh. I doubt it. If you manage to find either of those shows, just give them a glance. Just like watch as much of them as you can. It's pretty entertaining for how bad they are.
Like the story is nonsensical for both of them, especially Hostages, but Dylan McDermott, he plays his role so straight and so serious, and there's so many shots of just looking into his dreamy eyes as he says something.
Yeah, it's so one of the things in Hostages a lot is he'll like show up out of the blue when like one of the family members is like trying to escape, and he'll be like, "You shouldn't have done that." And he'll be like, "Now that you did that, you have to kill the president."
The family members are trying to escape because they've been taken hostage.
He'll say,
"There's going to be consequences for this.
Listen, if you shouldn't have done that. Now I'm going to have to do this." And then he'll like shoot a boyfriend or something.
And also, there was a black guy who had to break into prison for some reason.
And then he teleported out with no explanation of how he got out of jail.
And it was always at odds with Dylan McDermott.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then he just kills him at the end of the show for no reason.
Oh God, what a good show.
Wow, nice spoilers.
Anyway, Hollywood seems a little less ridiculous than that. Although it seems like it could go off the rails super quick. That's how you know it's a Ryan Murphy show.
This show seems all over the place.
Yeah, there's a point where like they're doing like actor stuff, and then it pivots, and there's a black man looking out his lawn, and there's a cross burning.
Wow, I can't. That would never happen in real life.
Yeah, certainly not in like 50s Hollywood. Ridiculous.
Crazy
Anyway,
stuff, man.
It's not just Dylan McDermott that's in this. There's someone else. A presence. A figure.
Oh, Jaleel White.
No, he's not in this. He's not in this.
Oh.
Our deep dark past. Sheldon's here.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Parsons, the former portrayer of one Sheldon, is here, and he is neither young nor Sheldon.
But he's... I don't have anything to say.
I think he fits this role. I think he fits this role, whoever this guy is.
He's made to fuck old women against his will. That's all I have to say. No riff.
I don't know. I don't get the impression that Sheldon was fucking the old women in this one.
He seemed like he was in charge of the situation.
Yeah, I can't tell these white men apart. Sorry.
You have like face blindness for particularly the like most popular character from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Ooh.
He was that guy who was acting weird, and he was like all uppity.
There's also there's also a part where he goes Bazingo.
Super Mario,
which just barely got out of the copyright.
Yeah. There's also a scene where he closes a door with like half naked men in it, so I think the implications are clear.
Oh, he's a homo man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's changing with the other men is what I was getting at.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna have locker room talk.
You just showed them.
That's right. Wait, is that what he meant by locker room talk?
Yes. He meant staring at naked men.
Oh. Well, dang.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone does it. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that anybody's gay.
Sexuality is just a spectrum. That's what Jared told me.
Jared?
Jared from Subway.
Jared Kushner from Subway. What do you think is a bigger pedophile? Jared from Subway or Jared Kushner?
It's a hard one to figure out, but I think the one convicted.
Yeah, I think the guy in prison for it probably.
Listen, I've been talking to Jared. We're thinking about, pardoning him. It's terrible what happened. Subway has gone downhill.
Oh, God.
Subway has never recovered.
If someone suggested that to him, he would talk about it to the media.
I mean, he considered pardoning Joe Exotic, so... Anyway, Hollywood looks like... it's a 3-minute trailer where I feel like I learned everything that was going to happen in the show.
Yeah, it's like the...
Yeah.
It's like Fast and
that was my exact
Hobbs and Shaw trailer, where you don't need the...
Yeah.
My exact commentary was this a trailer or a summary?
And it could have been both. There's only one way to find out, and we'll see if we take that dive. I mean, we probably are, because we did spend a solid 2 minutes talking about our love for C-list Hollywood actor Dylan McDermott.
Okay, well, here's the deal, though. If a show comes up that has no women in it, Stair's going to pick that over this.
That's true.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, if there's like a big man involved in the other show...
I heard he was 7 feet tall, just like Piccolo.
And he is. Yeah, he's pretty big. There's no denying that. That's the one key trait of this show. This guy, he's big.
He's large and in charge.
Will they do anything with it? Tune in to find out.
So yeah, that's a, I don't know, is that a tune out on Hollywood? It's a whatever. It's a shrug.
Yeah.
It's an it don't matter.
It don't matter. Not in this
It's got
era.
the Keo Rain it don't matter seal of approval. Anyway, that's it for Trailer Blazers. So now it's time for us to hit the ropes and get to our main event. We watched a show, and
Stair really wanted to watch this show. He really wanted to.
I want to clarify.
He didn't want to watch.
Yeah.
He didn't want to watch a show about women's rights because that sounded really boring.
Look, here's the process. Once it asked, do you want to watch Big Show or Woman Show? And I said Big Show. And that was the end of that. And then Kia said Big Show as well.
to be fair to Stairmaster, I wasn't particularly super jazzed about watching a show about
the women's rights movement.
No, it's not that part wasn't the like particular part so much as a show about oh god, what's her name?
Phyllis Schlafly.
Phyllis Schlafly, yeah. I was not in particular looking forward to watching a show that seemed very focused on Phyllis Schlafly, a lady who is detestable.
Okay, that's fair.
It felt like maybe it was gonna have enter that. What was that show we watched with Russell Crowe where he was playing Gross Boy? Oh, the Roger Ailes show.
Yes,
might enter that
God.
territory.
Fat Tail.
But then again, saying all of that, I did in fact watch this show, and I can't imagine whatever the other show, Miss America. I can't imagine it would have been worse than this.
I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry, America.
This show is on Netflix.
Yes.
And which fools me because it could have been on the Disney Channel right now.
This could have been on CBS.
Yeah.
This probably should have been on
CBS
CBS or NBC.
I think actually the production for this is below CBS tier.
Yeah. Just everything about this is something your grandparents have on the background that they are not strictly not watching. They are not watching this.
Specifically for me, it feels like something that the grandparents put on for your children.
I'm pretty sure I saw a stock CGI establishing shot.
I think these were CGI. Some of
yes, Swanson agrees with me.
I looked at it closely. I inspected the film. I zoomed in. I zoomed back and to the left. And
thank you.
What I found was what I could only assume was CGI.
Yes.
Wait, well, what CGI elements were there?
That car did not look real.
Yeah, the car looks pretty jaked. I think the farther back it goes, the more clearly CGI it looks to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't
know. I don't understand why they would use CGI to get establishing shots
because
of
they were
places
cheap.
that aren't even.
They just were like, here's a tropical cityscape in the West.
Like, why is that less expensive than just buying a stock footage shot of?
They probably already had it. Like Netflix probably already had it.
Yeah, they were just like, here you go.
Oh my god, I zoomed in on this, and yeah, this is definitely CGI.
Who produces CGI cars for...
No, I think the whole thing CGI is just the car is what gives it away.
Why? Like, that seems like it's more expensive than just filming...
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Hollywood is a wild place with imaginative dreams.
I'll ask the Twitter followers.
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah, Twitter, let us know, and we'll come back next week and solve this conundrum.
I mean, is this water CGI?
That, I think, is the giveaway for me, because that water looks pretty CG to me.
Yeah, it looks, a little bit too perfect. I mean, it's easy to fix.
But it doesn't look perfect. You can see, like, the filthy, like, rocks along the side of it, and the algae and the rocks. Look at that.
We'll have to let Twitter decide.
Well, luckily I'm making a poll right now, so people will see this days in advance of this episode.
Alright, Twitter. You'll find out next week. Alright, so yeah, The Big Show is what we watched. It stars professional wrestler The Big Show as a dad.
What's he most famous for, Swanson?
I guess the thing he's most famous for is that he had a match with at WrestleMania with Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. And I think he lost. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he lost to him.
Oh, that's not. He must not be good at it then.
Yeah, he has like a career of losing like dumb matches at WrestleMania to like celebrities. I remember at WrestleMania 20 in 2004, he had a match with a sumo wrestler named Aki Bono, a sumo match. So he was in sumo garb, and he lost that, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's see what else happens with some other career highlights for Big Show. He beat Hulk Hogan in his debut month. And then also Hulk Hogan murdered him.
In real life. Rest in peace.
In the show, he fell off a building and then wasn't seen and then came back later and attacked Hulk Hogan after Hogan dropped him off a building.
Wow. I wish we had gotten that in this show.
Yeah. So he, he's a some odd number world champion in the rest of the world of wrestling.
You know, when you think about it, professional wrestling has the same sense of unreality that sitcoms do. Same detachment from consequences and normal behavior.
To be clear, this isn't Big Show. This isn't Show's first time acting. Of course, he's been in The Waterboy, as we all remember.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that either, and we did a podcast on all the Sandler films.
Yeah, Adam Sandler is watching wrestling, and the wrestler makes fun of him or whatever because he calls in.
Oh.
And that's Big Show.
Oh, wow.
To be fair, that was back when Big Show had, like, hair and stuff.
Oh, no wonder. I thought it was always
He was
bald.
also on episodes of Psych, Burn Notice, Royal Pains, and inexplicably Star Trek Enterprise.
Well, I think that makes sense for him to be on a Star Trek show since he is a larger-than-life figure. And they go
he was also in a... Yeah?
No, that's it.
He was also in a comedy...
They fit him on the spaceship.
Oh, you're right. He's like a Borg cube of his own. Oh, maybe
he's also
like
in a comedy film produced by WWE Studios.
Oh, God.
Called Knucklehead.
Didn't they do like the sequel to Kindergarten Cop, WWE Studios?
Yeah. They also did a show that I think Kyo-Rain is familiar with, or a movie, Jingle All the Way 2.
Oh,
also...
Don't remind me about that. You're upsetting me.
Why are they doing sequels to Arnie films? Cut it out.
Without Arnie.
Yeah. Like, the only person I'd wanted... Maybe if Scott Adkins was doing Commando 2, that'd be cool, but...
Okay, we haven't done this segment in a hot minute. Kyo, I'm going to post you the poster for Knucklehead, Big Show's lead film produced by WWE Studios, as is this show that we watched. I want you to describe to me what you see here.
Okay, so my eyes are immediately drawn away from this man in the middle in his tidy whities to the left bottom of the screen.
This gives me like 2001 energy, this poster. What year is this from?
This was from the year 2010.
Oh, dear God.
So up against the ropes, there's like this little man.
A little man? But this time, is that Gary Coleman?
That is a little man. Gary Coleman was dead by this point, so I don't think so.
And he's like striking a pose with a wad of cash.
Yeah.
There's behind him is a nun who looks not amused at all, unhappy with the situation. She's just kind of looking up towards the right, and then next to her there's like a cheeky cheeky man.
He looks like an Eastern European
suit.
politician from like the president of like Uzbekistan or something.
And then on the far right of the screen, there's like this cocky man wearing a leather jacket.
He looks like Dennis from Always Sunny.
I was gonna say he looks like Eric from Tim and Eric.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
And there's a blonde lady next to him with her arms crossed, kind of looking smug as well, but looking at the man with the money. But in the very middle.
And she looks like Anna Gunter, a.k.a.
This is what I've been
Breaking Bad.
This is what I've been avoiding. Does she really?
A little bit. They have similar facial features.
Except they're blonde.
Got forehead.
All right, sure.
Stemmaster doesn't even understand the idea of I describe this.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to contribute. I didn't want you to feel alone.
I'm not alone.
Kyo-Rain,
I'm never alone.
What about this centerpiece here? This big show.
I've been avoiding this because this is a daunting figure.
He looks taller than 7 feet compared to all these other people.
Yes.
He is significantly larger than all these people.
He looks like
especially the little man in front, and he's smiling, grinning, and giving like a kind of half-hearted wave. But the most notable thing about him that I mentioned briefly before is that he is wearing a white t-shirt and tidy whities.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's wearing one sock.
I think he's wearing mismatching socks. It looks like he's wearing an ankle cut sock on the left foot.
Okay, well, he's wearing one sock that we can clearly see. And underneath his right foot, or his left foot, rather.
What is that?
He seems to be, like, trampling a dandelion?
Is that like a of Mice and Men reference? Is he going to get shot in the back of the head at the end of this?
Maybe.
I don't know, but he's exuding a very powerful
But innocent.
energy.
Yeah. Now, Keo, I have a couple more questions before we get back to our main program. Well, more statements. One statement and a question. I noticed up in the top corner here, there's a name, WWE Superstar Big Show, but next to it, a name that I'm familiar with, and maybe Stairmaster is, Dennis Farina.
Why have I...
What is Dennis Farina doing in this movie?
I need to remember who he is.
I assume he has to be that guy in the leather jacket.
I think he's the guy next to the nun, because I think he's older at this point in time. Now for my question for you, Keo Rain. This child, I'm assuming is a child, in the corner here.
Yeah,
with
little
his,
man.
with his money and stuff. Is that considered a hate crime?
Excuse me?
It seems already pretty like this is going to be a very racist character.
I mean, that's technically not a hate crime, Swanson, but that's
You
a
mean
weird
like
way.
how he's kind of throwing up like a pseudo gang sign? Is that what you're saying?
And has a wad of cash, yeah.
Yeah, it's not woke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't support this.
Yeah, I don't think I could support it either.
Yeah, that's a
Not for
I think
free,
that
that's for sure.
that the only black representation we can observe from this is basically like a troublemaking black boy.
Yeah. The only thing that's like missing from this to be like true, like stereotypical is if he was like rolling some dice.
Oh, I would enjoy that.
Like there's just like a cardboard mat down and he's just rolling some dice down there.
And honestly, this boy, this kid, this child, this little man draws my attention more than anything else in this image.
Well, that's because he's wearing a green shirt while everyone else is wearing black and white.
Yeah, that's
Very
true.
dark.
Everyone else is wearing muted colors,
Yes.
cool colors, but he's also got the most striking pose as well.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Maybe the film was about him and not the Big Show.
He's also the only one who's stepped outside of the ropes.
He's a nonconformist.
Oh, implying that he has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and that he's like
Oh.
not fully invested in this world.
He's like Nacho Baga.
Exactly. He's looking for his way out. So yeah, we open up with the Big Show.
Also, he's not smiling. He's not smiling. He's got a very somber expression on his face.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? I feel like we need to watch Knucklehead now.
He looks like he just found out about Wallace.
Yeah, he found out where Wallace was.
Oh no.
Anyway, so yeah, we open up. This lady's on a plane ride.
And this old lady is badgering her with...
Yeah, and of course, it's weird. This show can't even go 10 seconds without cluing you in. So the lady, normally in a normal show, I would say, like a competently written one, you would have this daughter. Spoilers. This daughter say like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to like live with my dad," and the lady's like, "Oh, what does he do?" And she's like, "Oh, well, you know, he's an entertainer." And she's like, "Oh, like Celine Dion?" He's like, "Yeah, if Celine Dion was like bigger," or you know, some other half-baked joke. And what you don't need to do necessarily is immediately show a flashback to like moments from Big Show's career.
No, you definitely need to show that because that's awesome and way more entertaining than everything else in this.
Like, I feel like you could cut to, like, I don't know, Big Show, like, attacking someone or something.
What? I mean,
Like, imagine if he was, like, in the backyard or, like, there's a ring in his backyard. Okay, first off, a ring in his backyard makes him more interesting. Put a ring in his
No,
backyard.
he's retired. He's done with wrestling. He's fully
Yeah, he's
out
probably
of
trying
the
to protect his
game.
brain, since it's clearly not that good in the show.
Well, yeah, his brain is not the only thing that's not good, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe don't do these flashbacks to Big Show's career. I don't need that. We also get like a Mick Foley joke within the first like 5 minutes. Is this for like the 10 wrestling fans that are going to watch this?
Yes.
Because this is clearly a show aimed after children, or at least in some way.
I don't know who this show is for.
This is, it feels to me like the show that airs after you've exhausted everything else on Netflix. Like once you get to the end of Netflix, it's waiting for you there.
The end.
This is the show that's waiting for you at the bottom of the deepest pits of despair.
Yeah, it says, "Oh, hello there. Can I interest you in a program?"
Welcome back.
And the purpose of the show is to convince you to sacrifice all your friends for an eldritch ritual.
And like then you don't have to watch the show anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost did that.
I could not blame you.
So then we get introduced to the rest of the Big Show's family.
Yeah.
He's got a wife who is generic wife character.
Also, they've got
There-
this. Also, they've got this weird to-do sign in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swanson, can you please go ahead and describe to me the character traits of this wife character without using the word wife
without using the word wife.
and without using the word mom?
Realtor.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure if she was his wife for a second.
Who'd you think this was?
I don't know. I was confused because why is his daughter not living with her father?
He explains that it's from another relationship.
Yeah, and I thought this lady was like his promotional agent or something for a second.
No.
I never got that impression for even a moment.
Yeah, this is clearly a generic wife character who is also confirmed in a joke about yelling at the Starbucks line, Karen.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
That's-
is that a
that's a-
slur now? Am I allowed to say?
You're going to have to beep that
It's
out.
it's a timeless joke, and it's not sexist at all. So relax, just lean back in your chair and chill.
So this kid, we get this precocious like little child character, and she will not stop. She's like the Chandler of this show. She will not stop joking and refuses.
Like Chandler, she does not respect boundaries.
Yes. And like Chandler, I find her act very tiring after only a few minutes.
Yeah, this show does a very common sitcom thing where the writers think that every line needs to be a joke.
Yeah, there's not room to breathe in this show. I had to take a drink of water just to take a break from this show.
Yeah, it's like if every line in your show is a joke, then there are no jokes.
Yeah, then you're just every joke is just a line that's taking us further to the end of the show.
And the biggest problem is that, for one thing, the delivery on these lines is very rarely competent at all.
It feels like, specifically with Big Show, but mostly everyone else as well, it feels like they're all reading from cue cards.
Yeah, it's
like
not
they didn't bother with a script.
It's not a good sign when the best talent in your television program is Jaheel White.
Yeah, and he's only in one scene in one episode.
Yeah, this should have been a buddy show about Big Show and Jaheel White, and not this
You know
family
what?
bullshit.
Yeah, better show. Like, Jaheel White is playing, like, his talent agent. And he's, like, trying to find him the career after WWE.
Yeah, then that would be a Big Show show.
Yeah, and then you have... Yeah, exactly. Then that's why... the titular Big Show is a meta thing. They're trying to find him, like, an act.
Yes, unlike this where you could really swap out the Big Show with anyone.
Kevin James.
Yes. This is a Kevin James show.
This is Kevin James, but with a bigger man. They, like,
Yeah,
turned the
you could
notch
e-
on Kevin James and added height.
But they had to sacrifice
Okay,
his
well,
hair
okay.
to do so.
How about this? You get rid of the mom character and replace her with Kevin James.
Oh, so it's a
Oh.
gay family.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
Chuck and Larry scenario where they don't actually kiss ever, and bisexuality doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can't have two men kiss because that would not get you the TVG rating.
That's true, yeah. That would be like at least PG-13.
That'd be
or whatever the equivalent is.
TVX.
Yeah, so my favorite part here that I noticed in this opening scene is that the other daughter, the middle child, is literally waiting in the wings, like being ushered on stage for her debut here. She just comes forth as if like someone cued her in. Like the staging is bad, as with everything else.
And she's like Lisa Simpson without the, humanity. A modern Lisa Simpson. She's got a Ruth Bader Ginsburg poster in her room. Like, just the most NBC sitcom shit livery possible.
The moment she said her idol was AOC, I could feel Stairmaster tremble with anger.
Yeah, is that a real thing people do, though, as idolize Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yes.
There's this bizarre cult of personality around her.
Yeah, that's
simply
a thing.
For her refusal to die, I guess.
Listen, that's a pretty cool thing to do, I guess, as far as things.
Yeah. Nobody ever talks about how she could have retired during the 8-year Obama administration, though.
Listen. Why would you do that when you can have a lifetime?
Why would you do that when you could
power?
Yes.
Why would you do that when you could jeopardize the Supreme Court by possibly dying or retiring during the term of a Republican president?
The most Republican of presidents, in the sense that he doesn't.
Yeah. So, Big Show they have this moment that I think is supposed to be charming. I'm not sure. He creates like an ogre-like monster with him and his youngest daughter.
You know that Eric Andre sketch where he goes to buy from Eddie's car place?
And the guy does not trust like that?
Yeah, that's the closest, Big Show does that with his youngest daughter. She's on top, and he's covered up by the jacket, but he's doing the voice.
Yeah, and it's very odd because the music changes to make it seem like a pseudo-scary thing, and also there's no laugh track during any of this.
This is like the closest we get to a human moment of family. Just parents having fun with their kids instead of doing quips nonstop.
And it's still, I don't know, it's still pretty lacking to me.
Yeah.
It's still nothing.
And then we get a funny shot of Big Show in a car.
Yeah, this big man in a tiny car.
Yeah, they do not do enough with the big man. Big Show being a big man.
Yeah. He gets confused for John Cena, which seems like something no one would ever do.
Yes. I feel like this writer kind of only vaguely knew what wrestling was.
Yeah, he's like, give me another wrestler. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
no, another one.
Like,
The Rock. Another one.
I'm like only 20% more knowledgeable than this writer, so I shouldn't be casting stones, but...
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, all you had to do is be like, aren't you like The Undertaker or something?
Well, maybe
he'd be like, oh, okay.
Maybe this actually happened to Big Show and he doesn't want that in the script.
Yeah, you think he has that much control, that much input?
I mean, it is the Big Show show. Without it,
I feel
he's
like
the Big Show. He can, if he wanted to, he could kill everyone in the room.
Yeah,
would you like me to tell you guys what I think the daily routine for Big Show is on this show?
You mean the production or in the universe?
In the production.
Uh-huh.
He comes in late. Eats it crafty for a little bit. Doesn't remember any of his lines, so that's why they have cue cards. Gets on set, makes some jokes like to the staff and stuff, so everyone remembers that he's like kind of cool. And then films his scenes and goes home.
No, he puts a lot
I
more
don't
work
think he
into it
shows up
than
late.
Yeah, he probably shows up on time. He seems like a reasonable guy. He does eat it crafty, though.
I think Hulk Hogan will show up late. And then probably call the crafting staff the N-word.
Yeah. Fun thing that I read today, the Hulk Hogan biopic that's being made is now executive produced by him, so...
Oh, I guess.
So, get ready for that. For Kyorain, if he's not aware, Hulk Hogan has a notoriously humongous ego.
And racist.
Oh yeah, he's also a racist. But I figured Kyo might know that part.
And there's some weird incest stuff going on with him and his daughter.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
That seems to be a tracking thing with both Hulk Hogan, Donald Trump, and Vince McMahon.
Also, he
And
snitched on
racists.
Jesse Ventura when he tried to unionize the WWE in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And now Jesse Ventura is considering a presidential run this year.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
Yeah, I'm taking on Donald Trump, and
Listen,
that's,
You
Listen
just
here,
need to connect the
McMahon.
lines. The dots.
Yeah. So Big Show goes to
Sorry.
pick up his daughter or whatever, and his daughter's not feeling it.
Oh, yeah, her luggage is missing, and nobody seems to care.
Yeah, and also the room that was going to be hers is currently being sit-in protested.
Because she's got... What's she being protesting again?
Because
They have to share the room.
No, she has to give up the room.
Oh, yeah.
And she doesn't want to give up the room, so the new oldest daughter has to room with the young daughter, and she's all rambunctious and whatnot.
So, why doesn't the Big Show just exert his authority as the father?
Because he's bafflingly incompetent. He's like a man-child or something. You know, like
he
Kevin
has no
James.
clue how to be a dad, and it's not believable at all how bad he is at it.
Yeah.
Is this what Big Show wants the people of the world to think of him as? Is this like the image he's trying to put forward?
I think he doesn't care and he likes the money. So yeah, some stuff goes on. His daughter's unhappy with school because there's no like girls hockey team, which seems like something you should have figured out before you told her there was. So he goes and confronts the gym teacher, and we get the height of comedy here with height jokes. The height of comedy.
Or maybe the valley of comedy, since he's short.
Maybe.
Maybe the nadir of comedy.
So get this, guys. You know how Big Show's big?
Yes.
What?
What if the gym teacher was like tiny? Was like a little
man?
Was like a manlet.
A little man.
Yeah, he's a.
Oh
he's a
man,
little
that sounds
man.
hilarious. And what if the little man antagonizes the big man?
Oh yeah, and the big man reacts in the only way that he possibly could, which is violence.
In the ring. But we don't get that.
No, instead he just like hangs him on a wall, and then as he opens the door, everyone is conveniently waiting there for him.
We don't even get to see the violence.
No, we just get to see the aftermath.
I gotta know
Well-
what the staff meeting was to have this wrestling show, this non-wrestling show starring a big-named wrestler that merely hints at the existence of wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there might be wrestling later. Who knows? Because I say that only because wrestlers are supposed to be on this show.
Oh, you think that, like, Mankind is gonna show up and abduct his kids?
Well, Mick Foley does make an appearance, from what I've heard.
That sounds too
Oh,
exciting
I guess it
for
would
this
be
show.
like the Wyatts would show up.
Yeah, but they're not a thing anymore.
Oh, maybe they could just say, oh yeah, this show takes place in 2015.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. So this is all about how Big Show's like a big, bad dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's well-meaning and sensitive.
Yeah, so when he finally manages to convince his daughter to try out for the men's team, he realizes that she was correct and the men are afraid to hit her. Because they
Yes.
don't want to hit a girl.
So he solves this problem with violence as well.
Yes, by forcing her to hit him. I love that they had to butcher the shot of him hitting the side because both his knees and hips are bad. Because, you know, he's a big man and also he used to wrestle.
Yes.
So they have to, like, edit it so, like, he's at once standing and then at once on the floor.
Oh, poor Big Show.
Yeah, he's a real
Wait.
fragile guy.
So they picked a wrestler who can't wrestle anymore?
Well, yeah, he's retired.
That's the point. He's retired.
But also, he was wrestling as late as a few weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a match on the WWE Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, broke all his bones.
Is he popular with Saudi Arabia?
No, he was just at the WWE arena, and they decided it'd be a good way to get their big new guy over.
Maybe that's how we get wrestling on the show. We just appeal to MBS to petition for it.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
To bribe
So-
Netflix into including violence.
Yeah. There's also a runner in this episode, which comes back in the second one, about a haunted house that the wife is trying to sell.
Yeah, that's really weird that they're doing like cross-episode plot lines.
Yeah, there's an arc about the haunted house.
In this single-camera sitcom.
Yes. That's made clearly on the cheap. There's also, it's a very small thing, but I felt like mentioning it just to see if either of you noticed. But there's a part where the youngest daughter is charging admission to the sit-in protest. Yeah. And she says it's $20 a head, but she's holding 4 $100 bills.
Oh, gee.
I did not notice that.
Well, clearly a group showed up.
And the group showed up 5 kids with a $100 bill.
Went to the bank, you got exchange, so they could.
Well, I guess that makes more sense than her going to the bank and exchanging the money. Instead of depositing it, she asked specifically for 4 $100 bills.
Now, the question I have is, how are they going to split that so that she gets 7%?
I think in the daughter's idea, she's going to just rip up the bill.
What, you mean that literally?
Yeah, she's going to tear it up a little bit. She's a precocious child.
She's going to spend like 20% of it on gasoline and dynamite and burn the rest. With the Russian mob, too.
Yeah.
Nope, that sounds too interesting for this show.
So this plot line
7-year-old is basically the Joker.
How does this plot line even end?
Sit-in, the Big Show screams at them, and they kind of just shuffle out awkwardly.
Oh yeah, the first episode ends with him threatening a bunch of underage women. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. There's no screaming.
Just kind of. Yeah, they don't scream or panic. They just kind of like grin and walk out.
Yeah, he literally threatens them. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to get angry, and when I get angry, I smash."
Even though he's a giant man, they don't know. They're not afraid of him at all.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, would it be better if it was revealed that like a famous wrestling heel was organizing the sit-in protest and Big Show had to fight them?
Yeah, like Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter is in there or something.
Oh, what? He's the one?
Yeah, sure.
I thought it would be someone more recent, but okay.
Well, you gotta play it up for when people remember. All right, yeah, no, you know what? There was a classic feud in mid-90s WWE with the Big Show and a man named the Big Boss Man, who was like a evil policeman, and he stole Big Show's dad's casket.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, and like Big Show jumps on the casket as like he shows up at the funeral and steals the casket, and Big Show like jumps on it as he's driving around.
Oh, so
they should bring.
Why can't they have these antics on this show? I don't understand.
Well, here, okay, I was gonna say they should bring him in, but I just looked it up and he's dead.
Oh,
rest in peace.
So, maybe maybe he's yelling at the kids, and then it turns out that one of the kids is Sting, and he attacks him with a folding chair and runs off.
And they have an announcer being like, "That's Sting!"
Yeah, they just turn the camera slightly to where the live studio audience is.
They could get the wall. No, he's dead too.
Fuck, why do all these wrestlers keep dying?
Huh. I guess we'll never figure it out.
Oh yeah, this is where the CGI establishing shot happens.
Yeah. So this
is definitely CGI here for sure. Especially those trees, which don't look like trees at all.
You don't understand how easy it is to computer generate trees now, Keo.
Yeah, we could make a Thanos. Keo Rain.
Okay, this show that did not have any other effects at all, for sure.
They didn't have to make effects. They just have to have it in their library.
Yeah, they just have to have the library from the effects were made.
Okay, well, what library is this, and why isn't... So you're saying that we could find some other show that uses this?
Maybe.
Probably. Yeah, probably another... Yeah, another like generic sitcom probably uses similar...
Yeah, another generic sitcom set in like a tropical place.
Yeah. Like, I bet Sweet Life of Zack and Cody had something similar going on here.
I feel like we need... This is legitimately baffling. I need help. We need help. Please, someone emailed us.
Alright, so the first episode kind of ends with them being like, "Oh, we're one big happy family."
Yeah. I gave this a rating of, I want to kill myself.
Yeah, and we're not even here... And now we got a second episode to talk about.
Yeah.
So, in the second episode, Big Show's got Career Day, which I guess you can still do Career Day even after you're retired.
Also, there's... they kind of do a joke about there only being one bathroom for the kids, and I'm like, How's that possible at this house? They look like in that same one that the banks from Fresh Prince do.
Yeah. And there's got to be more than one bathroom. Big Show's hiding out. He's got a secret poop den.
They can never know.
This is my me time.
Mankind found the poop shelf. What am I gonna do? Now I'm Jesse Ventura.
So, at Career Day, Big Show shows up with entrance music. I was wondering who the hell was playing this music. And he gets a lot of questions from kids about, like, so you're retired, does that mean you're close to death?
And see, then you can have the Undertaker show up. Because his kid is also in the class.
Yeah. And
we learn that Big Shot has never contemplated his own mortality at all.
No, especially not during numerous life-threatening injuries that he's probably faced in the ring.
Or maybe he has flashbacks to Sergeant Slaughter stealing his father's casket.
No, that was Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, and that makes him contemplate it, and he's been, like, not thinking about it because he didn't want to confront it.
Yeah, so he has to go to Big Boss Man's grave.
Yeah.
And not his father's grave, Big Boss Man's
and his son
grave.
is there, Little Boss Man, and they have a fight. Listen, I'm not saying we could make a better show, but I'm saying we could make a better show, Netflix.
Yeah, and then it ends with them and Jaheel White just, reconciling with Little Boss Man, having some juice.
Yeah.
Also, the juice machine becomes self-aware. It gets hacked by, like, Sting or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Urkel is in this episode. There's Urkel in this.
Yeah, he's working at the gym, and Stairmaster famously misread Bay Gym as Gay Gym.
Yeah. Presumably Tampa Bay Fitness.
So you thought that this was just called Gay Gym.
No, it's in Gay Fitness.
Okay. And you
sorry. Not Gay Gym, but Gay Fitness.
And you thought that made more sense than if it were just called Bay Fitness.
I mean Tampa Bay is a big city. I don't know if you can get away with calling your gym naming your gym after the city, because I
think a lot of people do that kind of stuff.
And it would have been funnier if it was called Gay Fitness.
And Big Show just didn't realize.
Wait, it's called
if it was called Gay Fitness and he didn't care.
Listen here, Mr. Big Show, you know what they're putting in those juicy juice?
Like you have a scene where, like, Urkel, who's playing a gay character, is like, hey, Big Show, you know, because his name is Big Show, we'll get to that in a second. Hey, Big Show, you know this is like a gay gym, right, for gay people? And he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I just, they've got better dumbbells. He's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Alright, if Big Show was gay, which wrestler would he kiss?
Mankind.
Okay.
No, probably Kane.
Oh, maybe Kane could have been the ghost at the end of this episode.
Yeah, see?
Like,
so much stuff.
Like, there's a little, the floating sheet with the eyes poked out, and Big Show rips it off, and it's Kane.
Yeah.
My God, it's Kane!
It's Kane, my God! It's the Undertaker's brother, Kane! Yeah, so,
I guess, yeah.
Urkel has this bit where he's like, you should invest in stuff. That's what celebrities do nowadays, especially wrestlers. And he's like, why don't you try this blender? And apparently he's never tried using this blender before.
I think he's programmed in a new artificial intelligence for the blender. That's the business.
Yeah, it's an AI blender that he's programmed to call him, like, sexy or something.
Yeah, it's like Plankton's wife.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he has a computer blender wife. And,
so I guess he's bi.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We
don't get any confirmation about what his deal is other than the fact that he's apparently ripped. Which makes sense, he works at a gym.
And he buys fresh fruits from the farmer's market.
Yeah, and he uses it specifically for this blender.
Also, he's a world-class computer programmer, decades ahead of humanity.
Yeah. And then it doesn't work out, and he's all like, what do you think of that? And he's like, well, I'm not impressed.
And we get a Shark Tank joke.
Yeah. because it is 2018.
This is where he talks about his movie career, and we get one shot of him auditioning for the Elton John movie. That should have been a montage of him doing funny auditions.
Yeah, we don't need just one singular Family Guy-esque cutaway.
Yeah, I want to see him auditioning for 12 Years a Slave.
Joker.
They ran out of energy after the first one.
How did they not do Joker?
Well, this was probably filmed before that movie was even a thing. They've probably had this in the can for 8 years.
Oh, God.
They wouldn't have thought of that.
No. Then where do you explain the Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Lin-Manuel Miranda reference?
Yeah, because those people weren't around 8 years ago.
I mean, nobody cared about them before Hamilton.
Well, that's true, I guess. What do you mean? Everyone loved In the Heights. Anyway, yeah, so this the Big Show needs to figure out what he wants to do, so he suggests, how about realty? That's what The Undertaker does, apparently. Urkel just spits this out like it's a common fact everyone knows, where he's like, the Undertaker and his wife do that.
Why isn't that a cutaway?
Yeah, why can't I see The Undertaker in here trying to, like, maybe they're rivals now.
Maybe he's selling a house and then Kane, like, has a brotherly romance. Or rivalry.
Yeah.
Rivalry, not romance.
Or romance.
No, none of that gay fitness stuff.
Hopefully not a brotherly romance.
Well, who knows where you want to go with the show, you know? You let the characters take you in the direction, not the writing. So there's this other subplot. An episode later, after they made a whole big deal about one of the sisters getting the room, they're now sharing the same room again. And they don't get along. Oh, would you look at this? This is and I am kidding you not. This is an exact plot line from at least 2 episodes of Full House that I remember seeing.
You're telling me this by the book sitcom is unoriginal?
I mean, it's almost like the only difference is that they talk about Wi-Fi. Not a thing, which was not a thing as far as I remember in the years of Full House.
Yeah, the kids these days are glued to their computers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and this is where we get into the sitcom thing of everyone being a sociopath.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like it's classic comedy.
Like the middle daughter just wears the older daughter's jacket that she bought. And
yeah, that's funny stuff, man. Classic comedy.
In the previous episode, the Big Show gets the wrong luggage from the airport after her luggage being missing for days. And doesn't really care when called out on this mistake and just offers a pithy quip.
Yeah. Listen, big man can't handle house.
Yeah, and also
look, if he couldn't quip, then there wouldn't be a joke, and therefore he had to quip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Take this walk with me, Stairmaster. All right, this show. All right, this show's happening. You with me so far?
No.
Okay. Well, just imagine it if you can. The show, it's happening.
I can, but I don't want to.
Okay, imagine it though. Just take this journey with me.
Fuck.
So with this show, it's happening, and then there's a single, solitary second where there is not a joke.
You mean characters talk about their feelings instead?
Or just anything else? Yeah, could you imagine that?
No.
Well, personally, I can't imagine that. I would quickly turn it off if there was a single second that went by without a joke.
I also thought it was just like the first episode thing, but also in the second episode, there's just tremendous amounts of exposition. So much of characters being like, well, yeah, this happened that one time, and that's because of this.
Yeah, they gotta do world building.
Well, yeah, and the one thing, as I've mentioned in many episodes on this show, one thing I love the most is when world building is just said. When people just say it with no added anything, just plainly state how the world is to me.
Well, yeah, if we don't exposit that, then how are we supposed to learn about it? It's impossible.
Yeah, especially in a visual medium. There's no other way you could do it with words.
What, you think they're gonna like show us on the screen in front of us?
That'd be ridiculous, yeah.
I would turn it off if they started doing that. I don't need to see that.
Yeah, I came here for words.
I wouldn't understand it either, to be honest with you.
So anyways, the Big Show decides to help out his wife with selling the haunted house.
And he just wrecks it.
Yes, that's the...
Big man can't handle house.
That's kind of funny. That actually did make me laugh.
I mean, he didn't even wreck it in like a fun way, though.
Oh, it helped that he kind of crushed the other guy to death. And made him scream,
that was
"Ow,
nice.
my bones!" Right
That was
before
nice.
pulling through the staircase.
Yeah. But what we learn is that he's not good at literally anything. The only reason that he solves the issue with his daughters is because he remembers how contract signings work in wrestling. And yeah, so he has a contract.
This was after they'd already resolved the conflict, though.
Oh yeah. By the way, the conflict was technically still going on because they weren't talking to each other.
Well, they'd already decided they were going to make rules.
Yeah.
And he added that they needed a contract, and he could help with that.
And that was, I guess, the only thing that he could do was write up a contract and have them sign it, which is not really anything that he probably did in the wrestling world. Like, he probably was not the one writing up the contracts, just guessing here. He was probably the one powerbombing someone through a table or something.
Now I'm just imagining Triple H smashing this house with a sledgehammer. We'll play the
That'd be
game
good.
plays.
Maybe an episode where Triple H invades the house and tries to, like, steal his family.
That's gotta be...
It's not explained why he's doing this, but he is doing it. Like, Big Show comes home from, like, the gym or something, from Gay Fitness, and Triple H is just like, "Hey, Show, nice family you got here."
And he's like, "Triple H, how did you find me?"
And that is the thing I want to talk about before we get close out on this. His name is just Big Show in this, right?
Could it be anything else?
We don't get a name.
Well, like his real name? Like his family calls him Big Show, right?
That's gotta be bad for your development as a child. Maybe that's why the 7-year-old is a Stewie Griffin-esque supervillain.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense if you like. Or is it that his official, like, licensed name is Big Show?
I think he legally changed his name to Big Show to improve the brand.
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing his career wasn't spent in WCW, so he'd have to change his name to The Giant. That was just his name for the whole time there.
Oh, God.
Big Show is a charming name, and I support him.
Yeah. Well, Kyoran, it is the Big Show.
But it is the Big Show show.
Yes. It's a big, bad show tonight. Anyway, this, any final thoughts on this garbage?
We didn't even finish the A-plot, but yeah, let's move on.
What is the finish to the A-plot? His wife lies to him, and then what? They resolve that?
No,
Yeah. What even is the ending?
I was talking about the daughters fighting, but who cares?
I think it's
that's not the A-plot. That's the B-plot.
I think the house thing is going to continue on to episode 3. This is like going to span the whole season.
Yeah, the B-plot
until she finally sells that house, boys.
Yeah, the B-plot is that they sign the contract and it's all settled. The A-plot is just, I guess, his wife is like lies to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I did suck at that thing."
I don't fucking know. Look, this is the most derivative by the books garbage. There's not a single... Like, the most novel thing here is, like, the clips of him wrestling from 10 years ago.
So you would say this is a tune-out?
Yes.
This is one of the easiest tune-outs I've ever given to anything.
I just want to ask who this show is for. Like, why you do the most by-the-books family sitcom in this very tumultuous era? Like... Are they counting on escapism and the wrestling fan demographic pulling through to get those decent numbers?
Now, is this a Netflix exclusive?
This is a Netflix original, yes.
I do not understand it. I can't imagine anybody picking this out to watch.
Yeah.
Because like at least with something generic and awful like Fuller House, there's at least a built-in nostalgia there. Mm-hmm. What is this? Is like this for someone who's like, "Oh, Big Show, I like him. This should be fun." He's big.
It's worse than the those shows they had on Disney Channel.
Yes, I would watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody over this.
I can't stop staring at this poster of Nickelhead. It's making me impossible to think.
I would watch 5 episodes of The Wizards of Waverly Place over 1 episode of The Big Show.
I'd rather have a
Agreed.
Buffalo Ticket Diary dump in my ear.
Oh. It's a very evocative picture.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah, this is a tune-out.
Fuck this show.
That's a tune-out on The Big Show.
I think this is the worst thing we've seen this year.
Oh, easily. And that's it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I would like to apologize on the behalf of all women and wrestling fans for this week's episode. I will not expand any further on this.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that X-rays do not work on Stairmaster's body?